Brace yourself, because these Wingspan players are next level. We're going to analyze a replay between two of the world's best and most experienced players on the website Board Game Arena. As we break down their gameplay decisions, see if you play like them to elevate your skills to the next level. Make sure you stick around to the end because this game has a truly epic finish. First up, we have Pruzant from Canada. Check out how many games they've played in total. 5,000! That's absolutely mind-blowing! They're ranked 36th in ELO with a crazy 80% win rate. Our opponent is XXRFT 2021 from China. They've played a whopping 1,600 games, which is also insane. They're ranked 5th in ELO, and their win rate is 77%. I know those win rates are highly alarming, so please note that they seem to only play two-player games. Right now, these two players are tied at 9th place in the current arena season, out of 6,000 Wingspan players. And these are their arena rankings over the last year, which highlight how crazy consistent these players are. In terms of game settings, this is base game with the 4 OP birds and 10 Swift Start birds removed. We'll be following Pruzant's perspective for this game. And by the way, in Mandarin, the letter X makes the sound SH, like shop. So I'll pronounce their name as Schrift. Okay, let's check out our starting hand. And I'm glad I can finally stop looking at that camera. All right, Willet, it's okay, not the best. Ferruginous Hawk, Double Rat is never good. Cerulean Warbler, at least it's Forest Bird. It's the only one in this hand. Forster's Turn, excellent round 1 bird. Bruised Blackbird, it's okay. We'll check the round goals. Let's see who's going first. We are going first. And yeah, we'll check the tray here. Cassin's Sparrow, Green Heron, and Cassin's Finch. All right, so another good wetland bird here. Cassin's Finch, basically the same as Cerulean Warbler here. Those are the only forest bird options we can see. Let's check the round goals. Round 1 is eggs in grassland. So we can see that 2 birds are going to help with that, Bruised Blackbird and also Cassin's Sparrow. Number 2 round goal, sets of eggs in the habitats. Round 3 is eggs in forest. Okay, so I can see the second and third round goals really do want high egg production. So again, these 2 birds in the grassland would help with that a lot. Lastly, round 4, bowl nest birds with eggs. And okay, again, Bruised Blackbird's good for that. Forster's Turn's great for that. And then let's check our bonus cards as we analyze what to keep. Historian and Breeding Manager. So if you're Pruzant looking at this, any experienced Wingspan player is pretty much going to know Breeding Manager is a really tough one. It's not going to net you many points. Most games you might get 1, 2, or 3. Pretty hard to get more than that, I reckon. Yeah, this is kind of rated as one of the 3 worst ones. And Historian, that's not bad. It's like, B tier, it's all right. Can be good. Here, it's already 2 points at the Forster's Turn, which, Pruzant is almost certainly keeping. Now, if it's me in their situation, I'm very tempted to keep this Bruised Blackbird. I probably will because, extra 2 points on Historian because it's got the apostrophe S there. And it gives you that probably win for the round 1 goal. And it's just going to help you with the second round goal as well, with just giving you eggs. Yeah, so turn 1, you are definitely looking for Forest Bird though. That's the problem with keeping, if you keep these 2, then what, you're keeping 3 food. That's enough food to play these 2, but then you're out of food. You don't have any cheap forest bird options. You really want, a 1 food forest bird. If you're looking to play this Cassin's Finch, for example, if you took that, you'd be going, gain food and then gain food again. Then you finally have the 2 food to play a forest bird. So that's the downside of keeping these 2. You could consider keeping the Willet as well as the Forster's Turn. But this hunting ability is weak. It's the weakest hunting ability in the game when you're rolling dice. So we're gonna proceed and see how they see which cards they keep. Okay, interesting. So Pruzant is just going to keep the Forster's Turn. They're going to keep their options open. Maybe look to get another wetland bird. There's a decent one, green heron one in the tray. Okay, and let's see, what is Shrift going to discard? It's going to be Enclosure Builder. Yeah, not these nest type ones are not the best generally. Oh wow, they discard. Okay, so this one's, migratory bird. You don't really want to keep that generally. But wow, they discarded yellow-bellied sapsucker. That is an excellent round one bird. If I'm present here, I'm kind of scared. Okay, they discarded that. What's the quality of the 3 cards they kept? So let's proceed. Turn 1, round 1. Present is gonna draw up the green heron. Okay, so I like that play. It gives them that second wetland bird. Refills wild turkey to the tray. And now they're set with their 2 wetland birds here. Yeah, you generally do want to start with at least 1 bird in the wetland and forest, and ideally you want 2 good ones in the wetland and forest. And yeah, one food cost ones are looking pretty good. Shrift is going to play Chipping Sparrow. Okay, excellent round 1 forest bird. That's going to give them an egg every time they take food. Oh, and it's a match for round 4 goal with the bowl nest, so we can already see the quality of birds in their hand. All right, so present. It's going to play Forster's turn in the wetland. Yep, nothing surprising there. Shrift is going to take a worm from the bird feeder and grab an egg. So looks like they might be, looks like they want that egg, maybe to play a second very good forest bird, because they seem to be rushing into that, getting that egg. Now, third turn for Present, what are we going to do? We're going to lay eggs here. And now this is a very standard play. Normally you would want to lay 2 eggs on the bird and then take 1 card and then discard an egg to get another card. But they probably won't be doing that because they actually have a great second wetland bird to play here that will enable that 2 draw card without having to convert. So that's looking quite good for them. Shrift is up, and they play an Osprey in their wetland. Okay, that's a pretty strong bird in the wetland. It's only 1 food. It's going to give you 5 points. Really great point conversion there. And it's going to give them a wetland bird. So how many cards do they have left? They have 1 more card in their hand. Surely it's a strong bird if they discarded yellow-bellied sapsucker, which gives you 3 worms. All right, looking at 4th turn here. So maybe they play the green heron. Okay, so they pay a worm and an egg. They play the green heron, and now that wetland draw bird card action is looking awesome for them. And now it's up to Shrift. They have an egg, they have a worm. They are going to spend them both to play Mountain Chickadee. That is very satisfying. If I'm in Shrift's position here, I got a Chipping Sparrow giving me eggs, Mountain Chickadee giving me a point every time I gain food, already up to 2 foods per activation here. This is what looks like the start of an awesome, efficient forest engine that's going to set them up very well. So Shrift is looking to have an awesome start here. And as for us, Present, we really need some good forest birds. Ideally cheap 1 food ones. All right, so what's going to happen next? Turn 5. They're going to draw some birds. So they ignore the ones from the display here. Savannah Sparrow is going to be not the best grassland option. They could take Cassin's Finch, maybe digging for a cheaper one. Oh, they take Cassin's Sparrow. This is interesting. Okay, so they know the birds in their hand. They can actually exchange now with the green heron, trade 1 food that they have for any food they want from the supply. That's going to help them if they wanted, for example, a worm here. That's exactly what they want. They're looking to get this Cassin's Sparrow down, it seems. And now they can draw 1 more, and they want the Cassin's Finch. Interesting. So they had the food for the Cassin's Finch, and then looks like they're going for the Cassin's Sparrow. Discard, yep, that one is no help here. And the tray gets refilled with a hooded merganser and the chestnut-colored longspur. It's a bonus card bird in the grassland, but I don't think it's one of the better bonus card birds. Over to Shrift. they are gonna take 2 food from the bird feeder, double seed here. And then their chickadee is gonna cash 1 food, 1 point there. Chicken sparrow gets an egg, and that's their super efficient start of a forest engine running there. Prusant is gonna gain food. Okay. So they just took a single worm from the bird feeder. Now that is quite interesting, and yeah, I'm looking here and I'm not actually sure why they're doing that. Maybe they were really desperate to get a worm before they all disappear from the bird feeder, but they don't actually care about which food's in the bird feeder because they have the green heron. Why would they need a second worm? I'm not sure, but yeah, we'll keep going here. But yeah, without any bird in the forest, it is of course quite a sad action. All you're getting is 1 food, no point, no bonus, no brown power at all. We're coming down to the last few turns in this round, and we'll see if anyone's going to contest that round 1 end goal, eggs in grassland. Let's see what Shrift does. They draw up wild turkey from the tray. Okay, they actually already have the 2 seed to play that. And they draw the chestnut-colored longspur. Now this one, they also already have two seeds to play that. Comes over to their Osprey now, and they decide not to use it. Now that's an important trait of top players. They obviously think very hard and wisely about when to activate these symmetric brown powers that give all players something. In this case, Shrift decided it's not worth giving fish out. They don't need the fish to play either of the 2 birds they just took, the wild turkey and the longspur. Second last turn here for Prusant. What are they going to do? They're playing Cassin Sparrow. Okay, so that means that they are going to be able to get the points here for the end round goal. What about Shrift? I don't think they can play either of the birds in their hand. Yep, because they both need 3 food. So they're going to take a worm, a seed, and then that re-rolls the bird feeder. Oh, sorry, a worm and a cherry. So they re-roll the bird feeder, take worm, cherry. They go for the 1 point cash, lay an egg. So it looks like they won't be contesting this round goal at all. Present here, yes, of course, is going to lay eggs, get 2 on the Cassin Sparrow, and then Cassin Sparrow lays 1 egg on any bird. That's going to be the green heron. Final turn here for Shrift. Last turn of the round. They play chestnut-colored longspur. So it was a choice. They have 1 more card in their hand, which is the wild turkey. No ability, just a point bomb. So of course they play the longspur here so that they can see the bonus card earlier in the game. So they're going to draw 2 bonus cards here. Choose 1 to keep. They discard Visionary Leader. Okay, now that's one of the worst ones in the game. Normally it's really hard to get that 4-point bonus. Yeah, one of the worst 3 in the game. And we'll keep going here. Round goal. Prusant wins 4 points for that round goal, and Shrift gets 0 points for that one, having no eggs in their grassland, to Prusant's 2. And now Shrift is the starting player. The tray is refilled. We've got Common Yellowthroat, one of those excellent draw 2, discard 1 card birds. We've got Black-necked Stilt, not bad itself, and Baltimore Oriole, a big point bomb in the forest, with a star nest for round 4's goal. So how is Shrift going to proceed here? Let's look at their board. So they're going to draw. They take Common Yellowthroat, excellent strong bird, still pretty good even at early round 2, and Baltimore Oriole. Okay, so they could fill out their forest even more with some strong birds. Comes to their Osprey, they'll skip that again. Refill, Dark-eyed Junco. That's a forest bird option, although they already have Cassin's Finch. We already have Cassin's Finch, and Hornlark, not a very strong bird. So we're going to draw up 2 from the deck. It's going to be Barn Swallow. Very happy to see that. One food, and it's a tucking bird, and it's a star nest. American Kestrel, not the best, not most useful. So do we need to trade food? If you want to play the Barn Swallow, you're very happy keeping that worm. All right, no trade, no food trade. Going to draw up the Junko here from the display. And now comes the decision to discard. They're going to discard the American Kestrel. Of course, not the greatest bird, bad hunting ability. Trey refills Trumpeter Swan. Over to Shrift. They are going to gain food and they're going to take Double Seed. Probably going for that Wild Turkey. Chickadee, cash another point. Chipping Sparrow, laying up their egg. They're always keeping up one egg here. And note, you can actually keep track of the players' boards here at the top right. The foods, the cards they have, how many bonus cards they have, how many action cubes they have left in the round, and how many eggs they have in total on their board. All right. So we are going to have a look over to Pruzant here. They're going to gain food. Oh, very sad. It's another vanilla one food action. So they are looking to take that seed, and it looks like they want to play the Junko. That's not a bad option. It's going to give them more food production. And if they have the cards to support the ability, they can get a point every time they tuck. They can get a seed as well. Looks like it's Shrift's turn. They're going to take Worm Cherry from the bird feeder. So they're just filling up their hand with food. They've got the cherry they need to play the Wild Turkey now. And yes, they have a lot of food. And they have a worm for their common yellow throat as well. So over back to us. Maybe the Junko comes out. There it is, the first forest bird. I kind of consider this a bit late to play the first forest bird, but they didn't have the best options. We didn't manage to draw anything particularly good for the forest. So Junko it is. Over to Shrift. They're going to play Wild Turkey, using up the egg they got from the Chipping Sparrow. So they're looking at many points right now on their board. One more note about Board Game Arena, this website. You can keep track of everyone's scores as you play. And this is not just for the replay. Whenever you play, you can actually see everyone's points, everyone's score in real time. This score is only going to ignore the bonus cards, because those are hidden. But it's going to count everything else, including like end of round goals and eggs and so on. Back to us, Present. We are out of food, but we have cards. Maybe it's a game food here. Yes, Present takes a worm from the bird feeder. They could tuck a card from their hand. Now, interesting decision. Definitely don't want to get rid of this. Barn Swallow is amazing. They could tuck the Cassin's Finch, but that's actually a 2-point Historian bird. And it's a match for the round 4 ball nest. But when you're playing Wingspan, you really want to be efficient. You want to be efficient, make the best use of every action, because these action cards are limited supply. And so it actually makes sense to use this ability here. And that is exactly what they do. They tuck away the Cassin's Finch and get a seed from the Junko and 1 point tucked on the Junko. Over back to Shrift. They're playing their common yellow throat. Always good to have 2 birds in the wetland, and that is a pretty strong ability, and it's a match for round 4 ball nest bird. Last 3 turns here in round 2. Let's consider now the round goal. It's sets of eggs. Pruzant is looking pretty strong for winning that one, with the Cassin Sparrow giving 3 eggs, while Shrift can also lay a set of eggs every time they take that action, but no brown powers on that, which is pretty unfortunate. We're looking to play a bird here. The worm is used to play the Barn Swallow, and that's going straight into the grassland. And look at that. That is a strong grassland action. And now, if you lay eggs, you get 3 eggs. You get to tuck a card and draw, and you get to lay an egg on any bird. Although right now that we have no cards in our hand to tuck. Shrift is going to go grasslands, lay 3. That's a whole set of eggs, and that's that. Looks like they need eggs anyway to play more cards, to play more birds. Back to us. It's going to be a grassland lay egg action. And now that is quite interesting because, yeah, it's actually the second last turn of this round. But by doing this, Pruzant can ensure that they stay ahead on this round goal. Because Shrift is actually the first player here, so they'll take the last turn and then it'll be back to Pruzant. So this lets them lay a 7th egg. They're going to stay ahead on the round goal. But very unfortunately, they didn't have a card to tuck here. So I wonder if there was any merit to drawing cards first. And then without doing this, they'd still be at 3 eggs. But by doing this, they ensure that they won't tie Shrift on the round goal, but they'll definitely beat them if they wish to. Final turn now for round 2. Shrift is going to take food. So they take 1 cherry, reroll, and then the second one, they are after a worm here. They're going to do chickadee things. 5 seed now on that, so that's 5 points on the chickadee, and an extra egg on the chipping sparrow. Final turn here. So checking the round goals. Yeah, Pruzant is already winning, so they don't have to lay eggs here. They already have 2 sets to Shrift's 1. So it's going to be a draw bird card. Yep. Okay, so they ignore these birds, not interested in those. And they get Whooping Crane, a bonus card bird in the wetland, and Western Tanager, a ball nest bird that's good for round 4, and it's a forest bird. But this kind of like gaining food bird that's expensive, kind of a bit late for something like this. They can trade food with the heron. They choose to take a cherry, suggesting, yeah, they are considering the Tanager play here. Draw 1 more, straight from the deck, and it's going to be Bronze Cowbird. Now they face a decision of what to discard. Yeah, interesting, these Bronze Cowbird pink powers. Whenever another player takes to lay eggs, this bird lays an egg on another bird with a bowl nest. These abilities can be very strong if your opponent's going to be spamming that lay eggs action. It kind of counters it. Every time you do that, I get 1 point, 1 egg. And do they have bowl nest birds to actually use that on? They have 2 star nest and, yeah, 3 more egg capacity on those. But you kind of have to think too about, is my opponent actually going to spam the lay egg action that much? And the engine is not looking very strong, so maybe the pink power here is not going to be the most useful. And they do indeed choose to discard the bronzed cowbird. That's going to be round 2 done. Pruzant wins again this one with 2 sets of eggs to Shrift's 1 set. Back to us for starting player, and the tray gets refilled, and we have the Morning Dove. Very strong early, probably a bit too late for that. Carolina Wren, yeah, always a decent bird in some sense, with the 5 egg capacity, great for mid to late game. The ability is always nice. The food cost, just 1 cost is good. And the Eastern Screech Owl, 1 cost, 4 points. So analyzing what can they do here, they have not much food, a couple of bird options, might be looking to increase their bird quality here with drawing birds, and that is what they do. They take up the Carolina Wren, and oh, that's good, they have the cherry to play that, and that will give even more options for better card quality. Second draw here, Morning Dove. Morning Dove seems a bit late to play that. I would probably not want to play that in, round 3, and they don't even have the seed for it. I mean, if I had the seed for it, maybe I'd consider just chucking that straight out in the forest and saying, okay, it's going to get me some more points. Yes, it's 0 point bird, but then you kind of think, oh, but I already have like a lot of egg production with the Cassin Sparrow, so I don't know. Yeah, is it really good to take the Morning Dove here? I'm not sure. Are they going to trade a food? No, they don't. They probably just want to play that Carolina Wren. 1 more card here. They're going to draw from the deck. It's the common Nighthawk. Now, there's a migratory bird, 2 worms. Yeah, not really seeing much point for these migratory birds. Generally, I don't rate them highly. And Pruzant gives it the flick away. And the trade's refilled. We have Loggerhead Shrike. It's a bowl nest at least, but not the best bird. And then Song Sparrow, another migratory bird. This one's really, strong consideration early in the game. 1 food cost and high egg capacity. But seems a bit late for that one right now. Over to Shrift. for their first turn this round. They're going to draw. Okay, so one from the deck, second from the deck. Goes over to their common yellow throat. They're going to take another from the deck. And then they take Song Sparrow. Wow, seems way too late to be wanting to play Song Sparrow. It's a migratory bird. I mean, yes, it kind of helps with meeting that round 3 goal. Do they Osprey? Probably not. Yeah, they're going to skip that again. They haven't activated it once this game, funnily enough. Comes to their discard. Definitely not discarding the Song Sparrow because they just drew that. It's going to be the Barn Owl. Yeah, bad hunting ability, hard to play with the double rat. All right, that's really interesting to me. The Song Sparrow seems inefficient for this point in the game because, yes, it's only 1 food cost, but it's giving you 0 points. But what are the pros of it? Number 1, it matches the round 4 goal for bowl nest birds. Number 2, it'll help you, if you chuck it in your grassland, I mean, it could help you get more eggs, and then you can ship it up to the forest, and then that can help you win the round 3 goal. So, yeah, that might be why. Another thing I like to do when I play is try and figure out what bonus cards my opponents have. And these players are so dang experienced. Pruzant's probably already analyzed what bonus cards Shrift might have, but at this point, yeah, it might be a good time for us to do that. We can think about like the food costs, the nest types, and the habitat, you know, things like Forester, where it's forest-only birds. So probably not Forester, probably not Prairie Manager. Possibly they have Wetland Scientist, where it's wetland-only birds. In terms of food costs, what they got 4 seed eaters, but bird feeder is a very bad one. I don't think Shrift would have kept that. The viticulture cherry eater, they do have 1 cherry eater here, and that could be a reason for taking Song Sparrow if they have that. Fish eating, only 1, probably not. In terms of the strongest ones, nothing for omnivore. For wild food types, they could have ecologist, where it's the columns of birds. They could have oologist, the second best one, where it's you want 9 birds that have at least 1 egg laid on them, and that's like a guaranteed easy 6 points pretty much every game. So we'll keep that in mind as we try and figure out what bonus cards the opponents has. And for us, for Pruzant, they're looking for more birds that have a name in a person's name. All right, we'll continue on here. As we go into the second turn of round 3, Pruzant's going to play that Carolina Wren as we thought they might. They can draw 2. You can. The good thing about these birds is you can go from the deck or from the display. So they're going to go straight 2 from the deck. All right, so they get a point bomb in the Warbler. This could go in the forest or wetland. And in American Avocet, same food cost on these 2. But they weren't interested in this pink power before, so maybe they're still not. It's the same pink power as that bronze cowbird earlier. Now Shrift is going to play Baltimore Oriole. Wow, so they spent all their food to play that Oriole that they picked up earlier. That is a big point bomb at 9 points. Star Nest matches round 4, and playing in the forest helps win round 3 goal as well, eggs in forest. And that's going to be another cherry eater, so looking like they may have viticulturalist here. And then the third turn, Pruzant's going to take some food. They get to take a worm and a seed from the bird feeder. Now, do they want to tuck a card? They certainly want to get rid of one of these. Which one do they value least? It's going to be the Avocet. And they take a seed off the Junko here. Over back to Shrift. Keep it moving. They're going to reroll the bird feeder, and what food do they want? They're going to take worm and seed. Over to the Oriole. Interesting if they want to give everyone cherry. What happened? Yes, they do. They give it out to both players. Chickadee's going to cash another one. Number 6 on this guy. This little bird's making big gains. Chipping Sparrow lays an egg right here in the forest. So Shrift is looking like they might do well in the round 3 goal here. They've got how much capacity? 3 plus 3 plus 2, 8 egg capacity for this goal. Meanwhile, we have 8 as well, so it's tied on egg capacity right now for the forest. Over to us. We might be looking to play a forest bird to shore up that round 3 goal. We are going to lay eggs. Okay, so 3 eggs in the forest. Tucking away a card we don't need. Surely Morning Dove is not needed here. Yes, it's not needed. And we're going to draw Eastern Screech Owl from the display. So interesting draw from Pruzant. They want the Eastern Screech Owl. I mean, they can play it. That's one benefit. They can play it for contesting round 3 goal. It only has an egg capacity of 2 though. It's got a good point value, 4 for 1 food. Okay. Interesting that they value this more than blind from the deck here. And Cassin Sparrow lays an egg in the forest. Over back to Shrift. They're going to play a bird. And the Song Sparrow comes out. Okay, it's pretty late. It's the 4th turn of round 3. But they chuck their Song Sparrow in the grassland. And of course, the good thing about this is it's going to help them lay eggs. And the even better thing, as I mentioned earlier, it's going to help them a lot with this round 3 goal. They can chuck eggs on it and then ship it up to the forest. And it'll have, it'll count towards the goal there. And yeah, that is going to be their 5th Seed Eater, or Bird Feeder if they have it, and their 3rd Cherry Eater if they have Viticulturalists. Back to Pruzant. They immediately play that Eastern Screech Owl. Okay. Interesting. They kind of look like they're contesting the round 3 goal. Either that, or they just want to make this action better to get more food from it. Over to Shrift. Laying 4 eggs here. Chucking a lot of eggs in the forest. Keeping the Song Sparrow here in the grassland. Maybe they want to keep laying some eggs. Pruzant here is going to lay eggs again in their forest. So all the way up to 10 here in the forest, maxed out. And that is going to be their last turn for round 3. They say, okay, Shrift, I've got 10 in the forest. If you want to contest me, you're going to have to lay eggs again. And will they be able to ship it up and win it? They've got 7 here in the forest, and they can get 3 here, making 10 for a tie. Can they discard a food? They can. So Shrift looks like they might want to overtake them here in the round goal. But Pruzant says, I'm going to make it hard for you, force the play. Them laying the eggs here pretty much forces Shrift to make that grassland play if they want to win this round goal. So Barnswallow is going to probably tuck a card here. Which one will it be? The Warbler. Yeah, the double worm cost is a bit tricky at this point, without even any worms here in the bird feeder. Cassin Sparrow gets an egg on the Forster's turn, which is going to count towards the round 4 goal of bowl birds with eggs. And Shrift, we are expecting them to win this round goal here. They discard their only food. They're going to put 3 eggs on the Song Sparrow and move it up over to the forest. That is going to be round 3, closing out with Shrift wins 1 egg ahead of Pruzant in eggs in forest. So that is a big, 3 points ahead, but it's a 6-point differential. Now it is the final round. The points are pretty close, but Shrift is winning by 7. However, having said that, Pruzant is 3 food ahead. And also Shrift has 1 more bonus point. So it looks like Shrift is a tiny bit ahead at this point, but their grassland engine is much weaker than Pruzant, so Pruzant can definitely catch up here. The tray gets refilled. We see Indigo Bunting. A bit expensive, but it matches the round 4 goal here of bowl nests. And it's a Cherry Eater. We have another Cherry Eater here, Northern Cardinal, but probably not wanting to play that. And then, Tucking Bird, but... Oh, actually, this one combos with Osprey, but it's, way too inefficient to try and combo that at this stage in the game, when your wetland is not going to get you many points anyway. So how's Shrift going to proceed in their first turn? They're going to draw up some birds, bringing them up. So they had 2, They got 3, they got 4. They're not interested in these display ones. Common yellow throat is going to take... Oh, cancels their move. Common yellow throat takes 1 from the deck, and then takes the indigo bunting. Okay, so looks like they may want to play the bunting there. They're going to discard. Oh, sorry, they're going to not use Osprey, and then discard the Grasshopper Sparrow. If they could have played that earlier, that would have been pretty good for their Grassland engine, but maybe they deem it's a bit too late for that. And then refill Juniper Titmouse in the display. Probably too late for that. And Pruzant here has 5 turns left. They've got a Seed Cherry, and they're thinking, okay, they could play either of these big wetland point birds. Let's see how they proceed. Or they could just try and spam out eggs here, but important to note, they do not have many eggs left in terms of a capacity. They're going to quickly max out their egg capacity, so they'll probably be playing a bird here. Yep, which one is it? The purple gallinule. Okay, interesting. So they want to play the gallinule and not the whooping crane. It does have much better egg capacity, so that is one important reason for playing it. Maybe they'll come back to this whooping crane later. Over to Shrift. It's their second turn of round 3. They're going to take up some food, Seed, Cherry, roll the bird feeder, and then take a worm. So they have a perfect food for indigo bunting. They don't move the song sparrow, indicating that they are looking to gain food again. They're going to skip the Baltimore Oriole, 7th point on the chickadee, and another egg from the chipping sparrow. Wow, okay, so they're looking... What? Yeah, are they looking to draw more food? Interesting. That would be like draw food. So 3 turns left, draw food, and then play, and then play. So that'd be like all their actions. Okay. Over to Pruzant. Just played the Gallinule out of food. If so, interesting. They could they could try and lay eggs 4 times, or get some food, play some birds. They are going to lay eggs, and this kind of makes sense because they can increase their bird quality first. So the Tanager goes out. It had a pretty tricky double worm cost when there's no worms in the bird feeder. Cassins is going to lay an egg here on the Gallinule. And Shrift, are they going to play a bird here? They are, and it's going to be the Indigo Bunting, yet another bowl nest bird. Now, let us check the round 4 goal. As you do when you play, you got to see what are your odds of winning this. So as Pruzant, they have 1, 2 bowl nest birds, whereas Shrift has 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, 5 to 2, pretty much guaranteed that Shrift is going to win this one. So we can just give up on that. But we do have 3 turns left here, and we need to figure out, can we just spam out eggs? So if we spam out another egg here, we can try and improve this card here. How many egg spots do we have left? We have 1 here, and then 2, and then 3, 4, and then 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 more egg spots, but every time you lay eggs, you lay 4. So you'd only be able to do it twice. And let's see what happens here. They're going to lay eggs. It's going to be a tuck on the barn swallow, of course, get rid of the gnatcatcher. Okay, quite a point bomb there, but again, problem, no worms in the bird feeder. So for Pruzant, they can't really just lay eggs 2 more times because the second one would give them 0 eggs here and here. So looking like they're going to have to get some food and play the whooping crane or the warbler. And they absolutely cannot play the warbler here. There's no worms in the bird feeder. Can they even get 3 food? They can, yes. They'll probably be looking to get 3 foods there. It's kind of a forced play as you get later in the game. You kind of assess your options and you figure out, okay, well, none of the other options make sense. I'm going to have to do this. Over to Shrift, they are going to lay eggs. Let's see, they lay 3 eggs, discard food for an egg. They can't discard a food for egg. They don't have food. Oh, so why is their song sparrow not in their grassland? A potential mistake, maybe. Just last turn, I think they played the indigo bunting last turn, right here, and then before that they chose not to move the song sparrow. But if their song sparrow is in the grassland, they would have had a great, 4 eggs straight up. It definitely would have given them one more egg this action. Yeah, very interesting to note that there. So what are they going to take from bird feeder? They can take a worm and a cherry with their bunting. And then, yeah, that will give them a food to use to get an extra egg if they want to keep spamming the lay eggs here. Back to us. We are going to, let's see. So we go for a seed from the bird feeder, go for a reroll. Oh, that's one worm at least, but yeah, it's not quite enough to get another worm for the warbler. Now the eastern screech owl can roll the die here, but it's a fish, so it doesn't hit. Tuck on the warbler to take a seed, and now that is enough food for the whooping crane. Shrift, second last, final turn here. What's it gonna be? And of course, it's the classic egg spam. So they're going to discard that worm they got from the bunting. And they don't really need any more food from the bunting anyway. So they're going to just go for a 4-egg action, 4-point action to close out the game. And on paper, they are ahead by 3. But here comes Pruzant with a big play. They've got 3 food, which is exactly what the whooping crane needs, as it takes, any food types. So here it comes in the wetland. They eat 2 eggs to play this whooping crane. So right now it's 6 minus 2, 4-point play. And hoping for some good points here to get, contest their bonus cards. And we get Omnivore Expert and Nest Box Builder. All right, so how many points do those give? Omnivore Expert gives 1 here and 2 here. So 4 points on the Omnivore Expert. Nest Box Builder, Cavity birds 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so they're both going to be 4 points each. And which one do they like the style of more? They like the Omnivore Expert. So as we said, Shrift is going to win that last round goal going ahead. Final scoring, Pruzant has 33 birds points, and then 8 bonus card birds. They had the 2 historian ones, 18 eggs, 0 food on cards, and 7 tucks. 82 final score. Is it going to be enough to beat Shrift? 36 bird points. 0 on the bird counter. Wow, that one can get a lot of points, but they didn't get any. 7 on the viticulturalist. Of course, they had 4 cherry eaters. 15. And then, wow, Shrift is going to win by 1 point. That was a super close game. So let's have a look. It was very neck and neck on each of these categories. You can see it's pretty much the same on this. 7 tucks for Pruzant with the cards, Barn Swallow and Dark-Eyed Junco. Meanwhile, Shrift got 7 caches with the Chickadee. But yeah, there was just a little difference here in maybe efficiency, maybe in bird quality. I did kind of think as the game started, Shrift had a slightly better setup with the chipping sparrow giving eggs, the mountain chickadee giving a guaranteed point every activation, and the osprey. They definitely never needed that. They never used it. They never found a bird, it seemed, that they wanted the fish for. So this was basically a no ability osprey. But this mini forest engine they had going seemed really strong. I would say that both players present Shrift, they're master players, super experienced pros. I think they played excellently. So I just wanted to share one key thing I learned from Pruzant's play. I've rewinded the replay back towards the end of round 1, and there was one moment where they made a decision that I really didn't understand. You can see they've got the 2 wetland birds here, and they've just taken a worm from the bird feeder. And at the time, I was unsure why they did, and I knew that they wanted to play the Cass and Sparrow to secure the round 1 goal, which they do end up doing next. But I now realize that they took the worm because they know they want to draw birds soon, and having that extra food after they get rid of this worm and seed, then they have 1 more worm left. And then they have that food so they can look at the 2 birds that they draw and then trade in a food for anything else they need. For example, if they draw the Morning Dove, which only requires 1 seed, or if they draw something like Cooper's Hawk, a really good forest bird, which needs 1 rat, then they're able to have that flexibility. So it's actually really good planning on their part. And I'll be sure to keep that in mind next time I play with Green Heron. Anyway, thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. This channel is brand new. I'll be focusing on board game strategy and tournaments. Expect more Wingspan videos like this one soon, but first I want to tease a special video. In a few weeks, I'll be competing in a board game tournament, which is in person with big money on the line, and I'm super excited. Wingspan is one of the 5 board games I'll be competing in. I'm going to make a video about my experience at that tournament, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. But for future viewers, no waiting needed. Click here to see my experience at Australia's first big money multi-board game tournament, or click here to see more Wingspan content. Until next time, may you get the most victory points.